Hello Blizzard fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is Game 3 of the quarterfinal series between Life and Hyun, and this is Catallena, the latter edition. The series is currently tied 1-1, with Life taking the first game and Hyun taking the second game. The first game, Life 10-pulled Hyun, did not do enough economic damage early, and then Hyun showed up with a Roach 1-1 timing, and Life basically conceded after the first Roach battle. In the second game, both players went for a more macro-style build. Hyun went for Roaches, and Life went for Mutalisks. His Mutalisks popped out just in time to clean up the Roaches before the Roaches could destroy his main hatchery. And then the Mutalisks and Zerglings basically cleaned out the drones of Hyun. Life had a huge economic advantage, and in the end, Hyun tapped out. So the series, again, is a tied 1-1. Whoever wins this will take a 2-1 advantage in this best-of-7 series. Now, if we take a look at what's going on here with the production tab, and you'll notice I've cleaned up the interface a little bit. I've received some feedback from a couple people on Reddit saying there was just too much going on. I went ahead and got rid of the area over here that contained information that you guys didn't really need to know about. Let's get rid of that. I went ahead and also gave the nameplates up top, just in case you forgot which color was which. So, at this point, both players, it looks like, went for a hatch-first build, and these spawning pools are going up for each player. The Scouting Overlord did check to see that Hyun is not where he thought he was, and now is going left to see if he can get some scouting information as well. Hyun's Scouting Overlord will get right on in, get a full scout, see exactly what's going on, recognize the spawning pool is about the same spot that his is, probably about a 15 pool or so, recognize that the gas is going down as well. So the gas could indicate some early speedling harassment, could indicate some early roaches, but this is not going to be a super macro build, as you probably wouldn't see that gas really this early if that was the case. So let's go ahead and slow it down a little bit here at the 4-minute mark. As we take a look, we have queens coming out for Hyun, a queen at the natural and a queen at the main. Those are just so important for base defense against Zerglings, against Banelings, pretty much everything that you can see early in a Zerg versus Zerg matchup. Now we have some Zerglings moving across the field for Life. They're just going to do some scouting here, a couple Zerglings defending for Hyun as well. They recognize that the Zerglings are coming. They're going to try to defend this scout. They don't want Life to know what's going on. The queen's coming in 2x2, focusing down one Zergling. Not quite able to get it. No, not able to get it. They escape up into the main. And yes, he does get a full scout off with this Zergling. A great play by Life, getting a little bit lucky, but playing the angles well at the same time. Making sure that his angle coming through here got around the queens. They were stuck off creep for just a second, which allowed him to get that second Zergling up on into the main and see what was going on. Now, there wasn't a whole lot to see. I mean, Hyun's spawning pool is there. He did see that Hyun pulled workers off gas, which means that he probably went ahead and got speed, and is now at this point just macroing up like crazy, getting drones as fast as he can. It is 31 to 27 harvesters in favor of Life. Looks like Life is still taking workers in the gas in his main. Has not taken any gas at his second base yet, as some scouting slowlings come in here for Hyun. They will get picked off by these Zerglings. Yes, they will not be able to get into the main. Good micro there by Life. Oh, and as I say that, one gets in with like one hit point and manages to poke in here, see that speed is coming, and there's a queen, and that's about it. Did he recognize there's a hatchery? Let's take a look real quick. And yes, he did see the hatchery morphing. So a good scout again from Hyun. So excellent hero playing. Why is he killing his own creep tumor? Oh, he wanted to put an evolution chamber down to get that block off. Interesting. So he killed the creep tumors that were used to create these creep tumors, so that he could put down 2 evolution chambers and a roach warren. So interesting play by Hyun. I like that. I haven't seen that before. They're going to try to get back in here. The Zerglings are denied though by the queens. Oh, and they do slip through. Good grief. The queens, if they'd held position, would have been able to keep these Zerglings out of the base entirely. Instead, the Zerglings come in. They see the second gas here for Hyun. They see how much gas is coming out. They're going to have to assume it's going to be something like a 1-1 Roach play again. They again saw the Roach Warren at the front, obviously. These Zerglings are still alive. One Zergling still alive, running around, getting some hits off on that extractor, trying to take down a drone, recognizing that's not going to happen. I think is cornered here by the queens and will get taken down. So both players content to sit on 2 bases, and as I say that, Life is taking his 3rd hatchery. I apologize for the miscommunication, but we have a bunch of speedlings heading on up. It looks like a Spire is also going down for Life. He's going to go for that Mutalisk play again. It's going to be Muta versus Roach once more. And it can be a fairly close engagement depending on how things go. Zerglings trying to get in the front door, not able to do so here. Good hold position there by those queens, but I think they'll be able to pick off this third base before Hyun can do anything about it. And yes, forces the cancel. The drone gets thrown down as well. And the queens are just have to sit here and play defense. They're not able to get out. At this point, at the units tab, Hyun does not have any attacking units but those queens, and I'm not sure they'd even quite count. So Zergling Harass is going really well for Life. He prevented the third base of his enemy. Overseer coming on in, scouting out, and I believe he did see the Spire. No problem there as well. Zerglings running all over the place for Life. Just checking to see if Hyun has any hidden expansions. He's very happy that he took down that third, but at the same time, he is a bit worried that maybe there's a hidden expansion he does not know about. So this drone comes in and says, am I safe? Am I safe to take this base? I do have some roaches and some queens defending here. Is it enough? And the Zerglings come in and they say, we're going to sneak around the back way. And I think they're going to be able to deny this third base once again. Yes, they get a good surround, forces the cancel, and they get right out of there taking minimal casualties. So they didn't fully prevent the third from going down. It is going down once again, but they did delay it. And that can be the difference between life and death, winning and losing in a professional StarCraft 2 of this match of this level. So roaches coming on down, ground carapace level 1, about to finish. Mutalisk's going to try to pick these roaches off before they can get to the base. Their DPS isn't fantastic against roaches, but they can't be defended against by the roaches, so they pretty much have to sit there and take it. A couple of roaches of Life's own here, trying to slow this giant roach ball down. +1 carapace is finished. It looks like the roaches are interested in going for workers at this point, taking out reinforcing roaches and taking down queens, and just interested in getting workers. So not going to try to take down this base. I don't know if they have enough DPS to quite do that, but they can kill roaches, they can kill workers, they can keep these Mutalisks here in Hyun's base so that they can't be doing any harassment at at Life's base, so they can't do any harassment at Hyun's base. Spore Crawler being repositioned here. Spore Crawlers do extra damage to biological light units, which are exactly what Mutalisks are. And so that change was made in an earlier patch in Heart of the Swarm, pretty much to prevent Mutalisks from being so strong in Zerg versus Zerg. It seemed like every match was going Mutalisk versus Mutalisk, and so the Spore Crawlers do a lot to even that up and encourage some players to actually go Roach. Roach battle here going on. The upgrades, I believe, for Hyun are better. Yes, 1-1 versus 0-1. It is forcing the Roaches of Life back. Mutalisks running around in scatter packs trying to chase down roaches of Hyun that are just trying to attack. Small roach battles engaging here and there. I don't know how the players are keeping track of all of this, but Mutalisks reinforcing the unupgraded roaches here at the front door for Life. I don't know if it is enough though. Queens coming in, going to try to snipe down those Mutalisks. 4 Mutalisks I don't think can take down 2 queens, especially with a Spore Crawler support there. A group of 4 Mutalisks again at the back trying to pick down roaches as they can without being hit by that Spore Crawler. But in the end of the 1-1, the good positioning of the Spore Crawler is enough, I think, to hold off this roach push by Life, although more reinforcements have come in. These Mutalisks doing what they can, but there are only 4 of them. One gets taken down by a Spore Crawler, another one will die to a Spore Crawler, a third one will die. I think Life just lost control of those, and they all get destroyed. So roaches with the 1-1 pushing out, +2 coming out now for Hyun. About 75% done. Those will be done very shortly. Those upgrades will be very nice for his roaches. And I don't know, the third base is up. It is not saturated at all right now. We are making a couple workers for Hyun, a bunch of workers coming down for Life. He feels really comfortable. He's making 5 workers at a time right now. Spore Crawler being positioned here at the third base for Hyun. And we are coming in with more roaches. Do the roaches have upgrades yet? Yes, +1 ranged upgrade, but it is, again, +1 versus +1, and the number of roaches just totally outnumbers Life at this point. He's forced to retreat, but I think he just wants to keep Hyun in his base. He wants to get his third base saturated before Hyun gets his saturated, and that is the play of the game right now. Hyun's +2/+2 is about to finish in 10 seconds. That'll be a huge pickup for him. These roaches will be so much stronger. He is making more and more roaches, and more roaches coming down from Life as well. So it looks like he's abandoned this play of the Mutalisk. I don't think the Mutalisk DPS is enough to kill roaches with the +2 carapace upgrade fast enough to really make a difference before they pretty much wreck your entire base. So roaches for Life sitting here at a defensive position. A bunch of overlords coming as well because the rally point was set here. I'm going to assume the roaches right now again are +2/+2. Are they gonna move out is the question. Just more and more roaches coming down. 12 roaches. It is 164 to 149 supply for in favor of Life, but again, I think he has the roach count, he has the upgrade count for Hyun. So this attack could be pretty devastating. If we look at the units lost, Hyun has lost a whole bunch of roaches, almost a little bit more than Life has. Life has lost those Mutalisks and a bunch of Zerglings. So Interesting comparison there. The roaches are moving in. They're splitting up a little bit, trying to get a concave on these roaches, and with the +1/+1, it is currently 52 to 54 roaches. But again, that +2/+2 upgrade advantage is going to be so nice. +1 attack is all for life, and attacks are going down left and right. Roaches are being melted into green puddles of goo right before our very eyes. It is a close battle. Again, roach battles can look very close. And again, surprisingly, Life manages to hold that attack off and force Hyun into a full-on retreat. So I'm not sure how that happened. It looked like the number of roaches was fairly even. Hyun had the upgrade advantage. Sometimes it could just depend on what roaches are attacking where. If you micro well enough, you can kind of burn down individual roaches, but their range isn't quite enough to do that. And it can be really just a difficult thing to do. I know as a Zerg player, my roach battle micro is not the best. There's just so much going on that it could be difficult to do exactly what you want to do. So both players on 3 bases here. More roaches coming out combined with some drones for Hyun. Income tab, we do see it 60 to 55 harvesters in favor of Life. Life moving up, feeling very comfortable with his +1/+1. Checking for a presence of a 4th here. There is not one. They sniped down a Spore Crawler just out of spite, I think. And here's going to be a fairly big roach battle. I think Hyun does not want to come up this ramp, though. He'll be caught in a concave against Life. He's not quite sure what to do. Spore Crawler does survive with 25 hit points. Burrow's back. There aren't any Mutalisks really to attack, though, and here comes the attack. Looks like Hyun has a pretty good concave. Life says, I'm not interested in dealing with that. More reinforcements come in from the 3rd base of Hyun. It is 199 to 183 supply. Life is maxed out, so unless he wants to switch up what he's doing, he can't make any more units until some of these die, or some of his workers die, or something. So we are masked up here with just a massive roach army for Life, +1/+1. Burrow going down for Hyun. That will be huge. Small Zergling counterattack here at the 3rd base gets cleaned up very easily. It is 59 to 53 harvesters. Really, no big problem there for Hyun. He is able to keep pretty good saturation, taking a gas here at the 3rd base as well. Roach is moving in for Life, and I think the burrow for Hyun is going to be amazing. He's going to be able to get shots off, take shots, burrow, prevent Life from getting into the base. The regeneration is enough, I think, to make a difference here, but at this point, no burrow going off. Hyun's roaches doing a lot of damage to the front line. We recognize, yes, the burrow happening there. Regeneration coming up very quickly, you'll notice down here for these roaches that are burrowed. Life says, oh shoot, I don't want to have to deal with this. I should make an Overseer perhaps and come up here to deal with this regeneration roach problem. An Overseer would allow him to see these roaches underground and kill them without being able to hurt him back. So more roaches coming up now. Glial reconstitution being made. Banelings coming down for Life. I don't know what the Banelings are for necessarily. I guess they're pretty good against clumped up roaches that are burrowed. So right now Hyun says, I have full strength roaches. I know that Life's army is weak. I'm going to move in here and try to get some damage done. Doing a just good stutter step, but excellent micro there from Life, cutting him off. Saying you're not coming in here without really taking a lot of damage to your face. And backs out, splitting off some roaches to the left for Life, recognizing that Hyun could come up this path as well, and he does. But again, another good concave from Life, saying, no, you're not really going to come up here. Come up my ramp if you want to. Checking for the presence of a 4th. Hyun says, yes, here I am. There's a 4th base. I'm going to snipe this down pretty quickly, just so we are on even footing. Small attacks going on. No, this Overseer is just checking out exactly what is happening for Life's army. Hyun has a good idea of exactly what upgrades Life has. It is, oh no, it's a 2-1. That finished up. And we have, yes, the Carapace upgrade for the ground units is coming down for Life. He'll be 2-2 soon enough. His burrow finished, and now he's burrowing himself. So it is a burrow-roach battle. 2-2 roaches versus 2-2 roaches. Overseers are going to be a big deal here. I wonder if we're going to have any units trying to kill those Overseers. This Queen doing her best. But the Overseer is just a little bit too fast. It can escape quite easily. Changelings coming down into Life's army. How quickly will Life recognize that they're there? They are hiding behind an Overlord. So I'm not sure. Yeah, he still gets the scout on thanks to that Changeling. I don't think Life saw it come in. He was probably distracted by that Overseer to the right. So good play by Hyun, distracting that Queen and distracting Life's attention long enough to get some Zerglings into the army. They are running around now, and I think... Nope, they're still not being recognized by Life for what they are. Hyun pushing around in the front here. He's going to get some Hydralisks to augment this Roach army. Hydras can be good if they are allowed to sit in the back and do a lot of damage. If they are at the front, they'll get melted by the roaches and really not make much of a difference. But if they can sit in back with a range upgrade, and I'm going to hold that thought. The roaches are pushing in for Hyun. Not interested in really fighting too much there. Going to kind of maybe sit there, take some Baneling hits there at the front lines. And yes, maybe the Banelings are enough to make a difference. Getting big hits off, taking down several roaches. If we look at the units lost here, it is Hyun has lost 116 roaches now to 93 for Life. He is forced to retreat. Some Hydralisks here at the left. Banelings coming up. Banelings do very well against Hydralisks. We might have a battle here right in the middle of the map. And yes, we do. Fighting. Life doing some stutter step into the middle here. Banelings getting some hits off as well. Hydralisk sitting at the back, doing some damage, not really getting hit by the roaches. Reinforcing roaches coming to the back, taking the attention of Roach's life. Life's roaches in the back there. It is a very close battle. It's 190 to 144 supply. Life is regenerating his roaches as fast as he can. 31 roaches, 32 roaches in production. He did lose the battle, but I think he might have won the war there, as he does have more roaches coming out than Hyun does. Although Hyun, it does have an infestation pit, and swarm hosts are coming out. I did see that infestation pit going down a little bit. I thought it might be for some infestors with some fungal growth, but no. Instead, it is going to be swarm hosts, and swarm hosts can be very good against roaches. Roaches, unless are not super fast and can't necessarily get up on top of the swarm hosts like stalkers can in a ZVP match. So. Or like Terran Marines can at TVZ. So we'll have to see what happens here. Another push coming right up the middle. Life doing a lot of attacking. One swarm host in the back. Locust coming in doing some free damage. Life trying to melt this down. Hydralisks in the back though, again, with that +2/+2 upgrade, do a lot of damage to these roaches, but Life just has more and more roaches stutter stepping his way in, killing every single Hydralisk. They're trying to burrow, and a couple of them do actually escape. Taking down the Roach Warren is a big pickup for him. No more roaches for Hyun. And I think that might be enough for Life. He's moving up here into the natural. All that can be made in response to this are swarm hosts and Hydralisks, which don't do well against pure roach. This number of roaches, and Hyun calls the GG at the 24-minute mark, and that is it. Life is victorious. Life takes the game 3. It now leads 2-1, having won 2 straight games. And we will move on into Game 4 here in just a moment. But hit that like button if you like what you saw. Hit subscribe. Catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, you take care of yourself.